my mind. You have, hallelujah, you have my life.
The sound there of Rhoda Isabella, you have my love, you have my trust. Yes, indeed. This NRP radio is now 3:27 minutes now, going up to the hour of 7 o'clock. It's now time for us to bring the newscast to you right here on this platform. It's NRP radio, reaching you where you are. No boundaries, no limitations whatsoever. Stay with us right here as we bring the news to you on this station, broadcasting on the platform of nrpmediaja.com. Good morning and welcome to our platforms, nrpmediaja.com on the radio platform, also Facebook and YouTube at nrpmediaja. It's Wednesday, March 6, 2024. I am Leon Nash with the NRP Break of Day newscast. Here are the headlines. There was a massive fire at the island's petroleum facility at Petrojam last night, resulting in the plant being taken offline. 2 higher-powered weapons again taken off of the streets of the West. 3,000 electronic ticketing sim. That should be 3,000 electronic ticketing handsets and printers now in the hands of the JCF to help mitigate accidents on the nation's roads. PNPYO calls on Prime Minister Andrew Holness to clarify whether he accepted Mr. Everett Warmington's resignation if Mr. Warmington was dismissed. England recalls fast bowler Mark Wood as they head into the final test against India in Dharamsala tomorrow. The news today is brought to you courtesy of NRP Radio, reaching you where you are. No boundaries, no limitations.
Celebrating 3 years since our inception, the NRP brand of radio and other platforms on NRP Media JA is your newest online platform accessible for the promotion of your church and community activities along with news and sports related information. It's the platform you have been longing for. So call us today at 876-336-9928 or email us at nationalreligiousmediaja@gmail.com.
NRP Media and Radio, reaching you where you are. No boundaries, no limitations.
Now for the details of our news. There was a massive fire at the island's petroleum facility, Petrojam, on Marcus Garvey Drive in Kingston last night. And according to a release from Petrojam, a decision was taken to immediately take action to take the plant offline. The incident occurred at around 7 p.m., triggering the activation of the fire alarm and prompting the urgent response of emergency crews and the local fire brigade. Reports reaching the NRP News are that an alleged eyewitness had earlier pointed to smoke that did not look right moments before a section of the facility was engulfed in flames. After the fire, Petrojam said that the safety of his employees is of utmost importance and confirmed that there were no injuries to staff members. He said that upon learning of the fire, the team acted swiftly to initiate emergency protocols and successfully brought the situation under control. Continuing the news, the statement further pointed out that to ensure the safety of the personnel and prevent further escalation, a decision was taken to temporarily take the affected plant offline and to focus on conducting a thorough assessment to determine the extent of the damage caused by the incident. Cooling down operations were underway up to late last night to expedite the process and restore normalcy. Petrojam said in a statement that it understands the concern that this incident may raise for its valued customers and stakeholders. However, it assured that Petrojam maintains a substantial reserve of products, ensuring an uninterrupted supply to meet market demands. NRP Radio will have an update in our evening news roundup. The security forces are this morning singing praises about another success in removing firepower that should be high-powered weapons from the hands of criminals. Yesterday, in a targeted operation, members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, in collaboration with the Jamaica Defense Force, JDF, successfully seized 2 prohibited weapons in the flanker community of St. James. The seizure, according to a joint statement, underscores the authorities' commitment to combating violent crime and dismantling criminal networks in Jamaica. Reports are that shortly after 7 a.m. yesterday morning, a joint police military team conducted a targeted raid on premises in Central Avenue Flanker aimed at apprehending individuals involved in the alleged possession of firearms and ammunition. The operation led to the recovery of a black and slightly rusted AKMS rifle with a magazine affixed, along with a camouflage 9mm suppressed submachine gun, also with a magazine affixed. These seizures took place in an abandoned building, further indicating the lengths to which criminal elements will go to hide their activities. We have an audio response from the Jamaica Constabulary Force on the matter.
The targeted operation this morning by members of the security forces was successful in that we recovered an AK-47 mini rifle. We also recovered a camouflage suppressed submachine gun. This is part of our commitment to combating violent crimes and dismantling criminal gangs in Jamaica. After the incident on February 26th with the fatal arrest of Peter Johnson, O.C. Jolo, we would have received several death threats against members of the security forces who were on duty that day. A premises connected to Johnson was searched this morning and the weapons were found.
That was an audio supplied just by the Jamaica Constabulary Force regarding their operation that netted 2 high-powered weapons in Flanker, St. James, yesterday. The addition of a 3,000 electronic e-ticketing system, handsets, and printers to the Jamaica Constabulary Force resources is expected to significantly boost the members' efforts to mitigate accidents on the nation's roads. The presentation of the devices in December follows the procurement of 750 handsets and accompanying printers, which were handed over in January 2023. The e-ticketing system enables the police to issue a printed ticket on the spot to any motorist deemed to have committed a traffic offense, outlining the nature of the infraction, the fine, and court date, among other details. National Road Safety Council NRC Program Coordinator Victor Anderson says the frequency of accidents on the roadways is a concern to the entity. Mr. Anderson says the police are expecting to be able to deploy these devices throughout the force so that any officer who is suitably equipped will be able to issue traffic tickets. Mr. Anderson noted that the timely issuing of tickets is intended to discourage speeding on the roads. The government plans to institute legislation for the establishment of a business improvement district. Minister of Finance and the Public Service, Dr. Nigel Clark, made the disclosure during yesterday's meeting of the Standing Finance Committee of the House of Representatives, whose members are reviewing the 2024-2025 estimates of expenditure. He explained that, Dr. Clark was responding to concerns about the state of the drainage network along Marcus Garvey Drive at Stinson Pen in Kingston and the potential impact on commerce. Explained that the government is working on a project with the World Bank to introduce the concept of a business improvement district that will provide the legislative framework for the governments to involve the private sector in the maintenance of the area. Dr. Clark said the private sector in that area have expressed to the government their desire and willingness to invest in that area and maintain it at a standard that they believe is consistent with what they need to do business. Dr. Clark pointed out that the concept has been successfully implemented in several countries, adding that the government desires to make it a reality in Jamaica. The People's National Party Youth Organization has called on the Prime Minister Andrew Holness to clarify whether he accepted Mr. Everett Warmington's resignation or if Mr. Warmington was dismissed. This demand for clarity arises due to conflicting statements made by the Prime Minister, who in an official release from Jamaica House and during an in-person interview with Cliff Hughes asserted that Mr. Warmington had voluntarily resigned after a meeting. Conversely, Mr. Warmington has unequivocally stated that he was terminated and did not resign. The PNPYO says it is imperative that the Prime Minister provides a transparent account of the events. It further said that while the mode of departure of Mr. Warmington might not typically be a significant issue, both the integrity and trustworthiness of the Prime Minister are once again under scrutiny. The PNPYO says that the nation is already grappling with concerns about the Prime Minister's probity, given that his Integrity Commission filings for the past 3 years cannot be certified. Such a situation, it says, is untenable for the head of the country. Moreover, the PNPYO says government members are being investigated for illicit enrichment. The Prime Minister has imposed a gag order preventing them from discussing matters relating to the Integrity Commission. The PNPYO says if the Prime Minister chooses to stand by the assertion that Mr. Warmington resigned, he should provide a dated copy of Mr. Warmington's resignation letter for the public to peruse. The PNPYO statement says that the unsettling events of 2015 were undated, where undated resignation letters were signed for senators, compromising their credibility, highlights the importance of concrete evidence. Finally, 23-year-old Romario Jarrett, otherwise called Zebi, a taxi operator of a New Forest district in Duanville, Trelawney, has been charged with rape regarding an incident along River Road in the parish on Thursday, February 8th. Reports from the Falmouth police are that about 11:50 p.m., Jarrett was taking a woman home when he allegedly parked along River Road in Martha Bray in the parish, climbed over to the back seat, and sexually assaulted her. Jarrett was subsequently arrested and charged on Monday, March 4. His court date is being arranged. You're listening to news on NRP Radio, your primary Christian source for news, sports, and the weather on nrpmediaja.com, reaching you where you are, no boundaries, no limitations. It's now 6:44. Now let's give you some sporting information brought to you by Hepburn's Glass. They are located at 13 Chisholm Avenue in Kingston.
Hepburn's Glass Supplies is the latest trend-setting supplier of glass and mirrors in the industry. We specialize in tinted and clear glasses, as well as mirrors for all your windows, doors, and closets at very competitive prices. To maximize your shopping experience, we stock 316 and 1/8 mirror thickness and 316 and quarter thickness in our entire stock of float glasses. We have in stock gloves, cutters, and suction cups at unbeatable prices. Our customer service is second to none, with same-day cutting for your specific measurements. Visit our office at 13 Chisholm Avenue, Kingston 13. Call us at 908-0962 or email hepburn.glass@gmail.com. Hepburn's Glass. Quality service is our priority.
Thank you for staying with us. Give you some sporting information, and here what we bowl off on cricket. England have recalled fast bowler Mark Wood in place of Ollie Robinson in the only change to their 11 for the final test against India in Dharamsala. Wood was rested for the defeat in the fourth test, while Robinson struggled with a back problem in Ranchi. England are 3-1 down and will lose the series regardless of the result of the fifth test, which starts tomorrow. On football, Harry Kane scored 2 to help Bayern Munich overturn a first leg deficit against Lazio and advance to the quarterfinals of the Champions League. Trailing 1-0 from the first leg in Rome, Bayern looked set for a frustrating night until Kane's header leveled the scores on aggregate. Long-serving Thomas Muller doubled the lead on the night with another header. Kane made it 3-1 on aggregate from close range after Leroy Sane's shot was parried into his path. Still on football, Leif Davis scored in the 89th minute as Ipswich Town dramatically kept themselves in the championship's automatic promotion places as they twice came from a goal down to beat Bristol City 3-2. Town's Connor Chaplin hit the post after a 32nd minute corner was flicked on in a goalless first period before Anis Mehmeti's deflected effort put City ahead early in the second half. Naye Wells hit the frame of the Ipswich goal soon after. Ahmed Al-Hamadi then made it 1-1 before Tommy Conway headed City back in front. But Chaplin headed down, leveled again before Max O'Leary easily saved Al-Hamadi's poor penalty with 5 minutes to go, only for Davis to win it a couple of minutes later. Jack Taylor hit the post in the 5th minute of stoppage time as Ipswich almost got a 4th. The win sees Town stay 2 points clear of a third place Leeds, having won 28 points from losing positions this season, while City remain in 13th place. That's sports, brought to you by Hepburn's Glass, located at 13 Chisholm Avenue in Kingston. Thank you so much for keeping it locked right here on this radio station, NRP Radio. We promise to bring you a good news story as often as we can. If you know of or are aware of any event or a person whose good story we should highlight, please send this information to our email address at nationalreligious.mediaja@gmail.com or call our WhatsApp 876-336-9928. That's the local news and sports. Stand by now for the international news, courtesy of the Voice of America. The Voice of America being our international partner, they're coming to us live out of the United States of America. Let's now go to the latest from the VOA.
This is VOA News. I'm Tommy McNeil. AP correspondent Charles De Ledesma reports on the Middle East hostage crisis.
Over the past 5 months, Israel's killed thousands of Hamas fighters, destroyed dozens of their tunnels, and wreaked unprecedented destruction on the Gaza Strip. But it faces a dilemma that was clear from the start of the war. It can try to annihilate Hamas, which would mean almost certain death for the estimated 100 hostages still held in Gaza, or it can cut a deal that would allow the militants to claim a victory and likely seal an end for Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's long political career. Such dilemmas might be seen as acceptable by Hamas, which valorizes martyrdom. I'm Charles De Ledesma.
Meanwhile, Turkey's President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has warned Israel again, blocking Muslims' entrance to Jerusalem's Al-Aqsa Mosque during Ramadan. VOA's Rick Pantaleo tells us more.
Turkey's President Tayyip Erdogan said Tuesday that Israel would face grave consequences if it banned Palestinian Muslims from entering the Al-Aqsa Mosque at Temple Mount in Jerusalem during the coming month of Ramadan. Within the context of the approaching month of Ramadan, we are relaying our messages to the necessary places regarding the need to prevent provocations. Radical Israeli politicians' demands to restrict entrance of Muslims to the Al-Aqsa Mosque is complete nonsense. Taking such a step will undoubtedly have grave consequences. The Muslim holy month of Ramadan begins March 11th. Rick Pantaleo, VOA News.
A U.S. destroyer shot down drones in a missile launched by Yemen's Houthi rebels toward it in the Red Sea, according to officials. Wednesday, Indian Navy released it fighting a fire aboard a container ship targeted by Houthis. This is VOA News.
Thank you so much for listening there to the latest Voice of America International News there. And we want to thank you for listening and keep it locked right here on this station. We're now onto the weather in our newscast. The National Meteorological Service is reporting that there is a significant feature of a weak ridge across Jamaica. The ridge is expected predominantly expected predominantly dry conditions through to the weekend. In the 24-hour forecast this morning, partly cloudy across eastern parishes, mainly sunny elsewhere. This afternoon, becoming cloudy, especially across northern parishes. Tonight, mainly fair. In the 3-day forecast, starting tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, mainly sun in the mornings and partly cloudy in the afternoons. In terms of all the current regional weather features, a broad high-pressure system is across the Atlantic, including the Northern Caribbean. Maximum temperature expected for Kingston today, 31 degrees Celsius. Maximum temperature expected for Montego Bay today, 32 degrees Celsius. That is the latest weather forecast brought to you right here on NRP Radio. With that, we've come to the end of our news presentation this morning. But before we go, here are the headlines once again. Electoral Commission has all but, I beg your pardon, that lets me give you the correct one, not about the electoral office this morning. We should have some more information from them during the course of the week. But the headlines, there was a massive fire at the island's petroleum facility, Petrojam, last night, resulting in the plant being taken offline. 2 high-powered weapons again taken off of the streets of the West. 3,000 electronic e-ticketing handsets and printers now in the hands of the JCF to help mitigate the accidents on the nation's road. He calls on Andrew Holness to clarify whether he had Mr. Everett Warmington's resignation that should be the PNP YO, or if Mr. Warmington is dismissed. And in sport, England recalls former bowler Mark Wood as they head into the final test against India in Dharamsala come tomorrow. That is the latest news right here on NRP Radio. We invite you to join us again this evening at 6:30 when we'll have for you the NRP Evening News Roundup. On behalf of the entire news and production teams, I'm Leon Nash for NRP News. Have for yourselves a good rest of your day, and please ensure that you come back with us later on. It is now 6:55. Just let me let you know that coming up at 7 o'clock, we're going to be having the program that is Let the Word Speak with Pastor, not Pastor, but it's Pastor. let me tell you of that one more time. So Let the Word Speak with Pastor Paul Blair will be coming your way at 7 o'clock right here on this station. And for those of you who are on at this point, you would have noticed that we had some break in the transmission sometime during the hours of last night into this morning. We do apologize for that, but we're back up and running, and we appreciate your patience and thank you for your patronage of NRP Radio. Continue to spread the word about this station, and please remember, we appeal to you to log on to our YouTube channel in particular and subscribe to our channel, NRP Media JA. Once again, that's NRP Media JA on YouTube. We're kindly asking for you to assist us by going to the YouTube and subscribe to our YouTube channel, so that when we pass on information, that of course you will be the first to receive that notification of us going live. Thank you so much. Keep it locked right here. We've got to do some business here, and we come right back to give you the program that's coming up on the hour at 7 o'clock. Stay tuned. This is NRP Media and NRP Radio. Hi there, I'm Leon Nash, CEO of NRPMediaJA.com, and you are listening to NRPMediaJA.com. And at 6:57, just to let you know that we are going to be logging off of the YouTube and Facebook accounts at this point. And we're going to be logging off of the YouTube and Facebook. So we're inviting you to go over to our radio platform at nrpmediaja.com. That's nrpmediaja.com. That's our radio platform. Please head over to that site now as we close off with the news and sports and weather on these platforms, the Facebook and YouTube. So over now to the radio platform, nrpmediaja.com, and you'll continue to listen to what's going on with the program coming up at 7 on the music and other features as we broadcast on this year, Wednesday, the 6th of March. God bless you. Have a great day.